BBC News. Hello, I'm Tom Watts. A huge and spreading wildfire in Northern California is compelling thousands of people to spend the weekend in evacuation centres. Smoke from the fire is travelling far and wide, reaching the neighbouring state of Oregon, where it's blocking sunlight. Peter Bowes is in Los Angeles.
The Dixie Wildfire, California's biggest blaze to the north of the state, is growing rapidly. Firefighters are battling day and night to try to bring it under control, but it's spreading with such ferocity that it's making its own weather, creating huge clouds that are generating lightning strikes across the region. About a fifth of the fire's perimeter has been contained, but officials say the extreme nature of the fire, along with low humidity, is hampering efforts to quell the flames.
Thousands of Brazilians have protested in cities across the country for the fourth weekend in a row, calling for a speedier COVID vaccination programme and the impeachment of President Jair Bolsonaro. Only 17% of the Brazilian population has been fully vaccinated so far. More than 160,000 anti-lockdown and vaccine-sceptical protesters have marched across France. The biggest protests were in Paris, where police used pepper spray and water cannon to disperse the crowds opposing mandatory COVID passes, which they say restrict people's freedom. The former head of a special anti-corruption unit in Guatemala has left the country just hours after being removed from office by the Attorney General. The Juan Francisco Sandoval is reported to have crossed the border into El Salvador. Our Americas editor, Candice Piet, reports.
Mr. Sandoval's unit had tackled investigations which led to charges against dozens of officials, but the unit had recently been struggling with legal challenges seeking to declare it unconstitutional. The Guatemalan Attorney General justified sacking Mr. Sandoval by saying he'd committed abuses and was undermining her work. In Washington, the US State Department, which had given Mr. Sandoval an award in February, called his removal a significant setback to the rule of law.
The second day of the Tokyo Olympics will award 18 gold medals to include cycling, tennis and, for the first time at an Olympic Games, skateboarding. Sarah Mulkerns reports.
In cycling, the women's road race takes place on Sunday with the current champion Anna van der Breggen representing the Netherlands for the final time at the Games before she retires. One of the biggest names in the world of sport will be making her first appearance at the Tokyo Games. Simone Biles, the most decorated US gymnast of all time, will lead her team in women's qualifying, and local favourite Naomi Osaka will begin her bid for a medal. It is Osaka's first match since withdrawing from the French Open because of mental health issues.
World news from the BBC. The police in Nicaragua say they have arrested another potential presidential candidate under new treason legislation. Noel Vidaurre was accused of undermining the country's sovereignty. He is the seventh possible contender to be detained. The president, Daniel Ortega, is seeking a fourth consecutive term. An attack by Islamist militants on a Northern Army post in Cameroon has killed at least 6 soldiers and wounded 4 others. The regional governor, Bakary Mijiawa, said the early morning raid close to the border with Nigeria was carried out by Boko Haram insurgents using vehicles and motorbikes. A British parliamentary committee has found that 60% of women in the armed forces have suffered bullying, harassment and discrimination. MPs say women are being denied justice by a woefully inadequate military justice system. They have made dozens of recommendations, including removing cases of rape and serious sexual assault from military courts. Their report says the Defence Ministry is still not getting the basics right, such as providing women with properly fitting uniforms and body armour. Women make up about 12% of Britain's regular forces. A site in Saudi Arabia that's home to a treasure trove of ancient rock art and inscriptions has been added to UNESCO's World Heritage List. Our Arab Affairs editor, Sebastian Usher, has the details.
The region of Himyar lies along an ancient caravan route bringing incense from Yemen, and those who've passed along it for thousands of years have left their mark in rock drawings of cattle, sheep, horses, ostriches, and of course camels. The armies that passed by are remembered in depictions of warriors on horseback and on foot. Inscriptions scattered across the wadis and dusty hills reveal a multiplicity of dead languages and those still in use, left by those who made use of the wells for which the area is famous. It's the 6th site in Saudi Arabia to be put on the World Heritage List.
BBC News.